Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Education and Culture and Health and Human Services Committee meeting. I am joined today by our chair of our Health and Human Services Committee, Council President Albornoz, as well as member of our Education and Culture Committee, Council Member Jawando. Today we are discussing the last piece of the blueprint for Maryland's future, more resources to ensure all students are successful. Before we begin and before we get into the details, I was reminded that this is my actual last meeting as chair of the Education and Culture Committee, and so I just want to start off with heartfelt thanks to Montgomery County Public Schools. I have had one daughter who has gone through Montgomery County Public Schools, who is now a senior at Colorado State studying pre-vet. I have another daughter who's a junior at Northwest High School who is looking to go into the culinary field. Montgomery County Public Schools have provided an amazing and immense support structure for my girls, and I know that they're not unique. I also know that they had a support structure that went well beyond Montgomery County Public Schools. And I know that unfortunately that is not afforded to every single one of our students within our Montgomery County Public Schools. And so it begs us to continue to do more, understanding that not everyone is as privileged and as fortunate to have the ability to have two parents at home that can help when it comes to homework, studying for a test, writing a letter to get a job, helping them with a resume. All of those things are instrumental in terms of an individual student's success. And I think that Montgomery County Public Schools has certainly been able to recognize this inequity that exists in our community. And while it is not Montgomery County Public Schools nor any public school's responsibility to raise our children, it is important to meet our children where they are and ensure that they can all be successful. And that is the premise of the blueprint for Maryland's future. It is the premise of the Kerwin Commission and why it is that we met for 3 years to discuss these topics that would revolutionize our education system. And so as I step away from this committee, I know that we are in great hands. We have a blueprint and we have people who understand the mission, who support it, who care about our community and ensure that no child will be left behind. And so with that, I want to turn it over to Ms. Rodriguez-Hernandez. I'm sorry, I'm going to turn it over to the Council President first, the co-chair of this joint committee. But just really want to say thank you because Montgomery County Public Schools are one of the best public schools in the nation. It is very clear that people move here because of this education system. I've spoken to parents, children who have special needs, who understand that uniquely we are positioned to be able to help them, children who come from other neighboring jurisdictions, who continue to be challenged with not having the resources that are necessary for their children to be successful. It truly is a blessing to be able to live here in Montgomery County and to have a great school system like we have. So with that, Mr. President.
Thanks. So on November 29th, this body will have the opportunity to formally acknowledge the incredible work and legacy that Councilmember Rice leaves behind. But I'm going to connect a couple of dots for us this morning. So this morning was the annual legislative briefing where the state delegation, the county delegation comes to meet with the superintendent and her team. And the topic of conversation was the blueprint. Well, Councilmember Rice was instrumental in the development of that blueprint. And so it's appropriate and fitting that on his last joint committee council session, and the fact that it is a joint committee council session, which acknowledges that, and as Councilmember Rice has been preaching throughout his entire professional career, the school system cannot do this on its own. We as a community, whether it be government agencies, whether it be nonprofit organizations, all of us collectively have a critical role to play in the development and implementation of the plan that we are going to talk about this morning. But the origins of that plan cannot be forgotten. And I do want to publicly acknowledge and thank you once again, Councilmember Rice, and I'm just going to say it, Craig, for your leadership. So you have taken this to an absolute another level, and you've brought us all along the way. So again, we will formally acknowledge and thank you on the 29th, but all of my committee colleagues and all of our colleagues just express our deepest appreciation to you, my friend.
Thank you, sir. Mm-hmm. You know I got to chime in.
Yeah.
Thank you. You yield to me, Mr. Chair?
I do.
Okay, thank you for the last time. Yeah, I couldn't agree more, and I was scheduled actually to be virtual today because I'm balancing a lot of things, but I moved my schedule around so I could come in person, in large part because I realized that this was the last time that this Education and Culture Committee will convene in this council session. And I also want to thank you, Craig. I've often said, that this has been my favorite committee, E&C, and in large part because of your leadership. And, I think we always came to consensus on this committee. I think we remarked a couple of weeks ago, I think there was the first time that we had a 2-1 vote in the committee, since in the 4 years I've been on the committee. That's probably not right, but close. Yeah. And I think it's a testament to we're all here to help our kids. We're all here to make sure that they have what they need. I followed you as lead for libraries. I'd like to think I did pretty well in that role. I hope to continue on the Education Committee and the legacy and the leadership that you've left to make sure that this moves forward and we continue with the great team. One thing I love about MCPS is if you have a committee hearing, we know we're going to have some people in the audience because MCPS always rolls deep. You guys always bring everybody, which we love. It just shows the commitment that you have to our kids and our students. And I want to thank you, Councilmember Rice and Councilmember Navarro, in her absence today. I know we'll do this more formally, but it's been a heck of a ride, and thank you for your leadership.
You guys are too kind. Just one quick note. As a product of Montgomery County Public Schools, graduating from Blair High School, last night we had our teen town hall. It is important for me, and Ms. Rodriguez-Hernandez knows this all too well, that our young people need to continue to be involved and engaged in leadership opportunities. While those leadership opportunities are often seen as elected office or a boss, a lead for some sort of nonprofit or whatever the case may be, I want people to understand that it is individual advocacy that matters the most. When I first started off, it was advocating for a hospital in Germantown when I joined the Germantown Alliance. And I was fighting for health inequities that I saw in a large community that was primarily and leaning towards primarily of color, now is significantly of color, and said that we need to do better. We need to do better for our community, for our people who are struggling, people who look like me but don't necessarily have the same sort of resources, and that's what this is about. The same thing. Fighting for those to make sure that everyone has that ability to achieve that level of success that is right for them. That's why this is so important. So with that, turn it over to Ms. Rodriguez-Hernandez.
Oh, well, good morning, council members, and absolutely council staff shares the same sentiments shared by Council President Albornoz and Councilmember Jawando, and especially for me coming from your office, Councilmember Rice, to being able to serve the Education and Culture Committee as a whole has been really amazing. So this is a very, very amazing last committee session for our current body, and I'm excited to have a really robust presentation from our amazing partners over at MCPS for you all today. I won't speak too long because they do have a wealth of information, but I really do want to thank MCPS and Ms. Backey in particular for all of her amazing work in presenting and sharing this information with the council and all of the bodies in Montgomery County, and making sure that we're on track for blueprint implementation, and to all of the MCPS leadership and staff who come to our meetings and here to answer any and all questions. We really do appreciate that partnership. And so with that, as you said, we're here to discuss the more resources to ensure all students are successful, the final policy blueprint area, and I'll turn it over to Ms. Becky.
And we'll begin with Dr. Murphy.
Well, good morning and welcome, and thank you for hosting this today. I will say, Councilman Rice, I'll echo many of the same comments that have been shared. Thank you very much for your leadership. Also, thank you for sharing your experiences, not only as a student, but as a family member in Montgomery County and some of the successes of your children. I will also echo this morning in our news release that you recognized one of our students as a council member of the day from Blair High School. So I think that's a great, just another example of how we can provide different leadership opportunities. And last night I viewed the webinar with the hearing with the students, and I thought that gave them great voice, and you can tell that they're involved in a variety of different advisory committees and know where different fund sources are and how to tap into those. So their advocacy, I think, is a big part of this. I heard in your comments also, and I'll echo them, partnerships. It's not just one group or one entity that is leading the charge, but it's a series of partnerships. And it's also preparing our families to be advocates for their children, knowing how to work through the system, knowing who to contact and how to make those connections so ultimately their children are successful. And I think that's what we all want to see. Let's go to the next slide. So I do too want to thank Ms. Backey and the team here today. We've presented on the previous pillars of the blueprint. Today we're going to talk about pillar number 4, more resources to ensure all students are successful. And with that, next slide please. I want to just, let's go to the next slide. We've flip-flopped these slides here. These are kind of building slides that I see. And one of the pieces is the MCPS strategic plan. And that strategic plan, I believe, really dovetails nice with some of the work that the blueprint has done as far as looking at 3 key areas, that being preparing students for their futures, whether that be college, whether that be career, but also how they integrate with the community. And the last time we talked, we really talked about having our graduates come back and be active members in the community. And that's really reflective in our economic growth and the prosperity, so we can support many of the things that we have here, public education being one of those priorities. Also coming out of the pandemic, we're seeing well-being as being very critical, but also what does that family engagement piece look like to support our students so that they are successful. And then finally, making sure that we have a highly qualified workforce, and that's across all aspects of the organization, whether those folks are driving buses or in food service or in classrooms. That is going to be really our life's blood, as I often say. We've got over 25,000 employees, and that's going to be really successful. I think we're also very proud the fact that we had a 99% fill rate for our classrooms this year. So that speaks well to what you shared about people wanting to come to Montgomery County, wanting to be part of the things that we provide here that we see as essential. Let's go to the next slide. Let's go back, I'm sorry. There you go. So this is really the beginning of a schematic, and it really outlines many of the things that are happening right now, both in MCPS, but also connected to the Maryland Blueprint. And I know we're in the throes of beginning to formulate our budget, but I would say at the foundation of much of our work coming off the anti-racism audit is how are we serving each individual student within our community? How are we making sure each of those students is successful in getting the resources and the support they need so that they can achieve our strategic plan goals and they can meet many of the objectives that we see in the blueprint. So I highlighted some of those things on the left with our strategic plan actions. We've also got our strategic plan priorities. But as we move forward, you can see center to our schematic here is our students. And as we build our budget and begin to lay out some of the things that we're putting in place for pre-K, for dual enrollment, for CTE classes, for National Board Certified Teachers as we hit each one of those pillars. How is that relating to what our budget is going to look like? But also coupled, how do we know what the quality of those initiatives will look like? And do we have a program evaluation system in place so that we're evaluating what we're doing? We only have so much capacity, and we really need to hit the mark with doing what's going to get us the best result for our students. So we may need to shed some things in the future that we can have, that are going to have a greater benefit. We're going to build on this, but I think this is a great starting point, and it really begins to fit together what the Kerwin report did and what the blueprint is doing, and it also aligns what we're doing very closely with our strategic plan and our actions, and all that really revolves around how we deploy resources, and then also how we follow up on those resources and make sure we're getting the results that we want to see for each individual child. And each individual child is going to need a different need or a different formula so that they can be successful. So that is a backdrop. I'm going to turn it back over to Ms. Backey, and she and the team can lead us through the rest of this pillar number 4.
An update on the Accountability and Implementation Board. An update on the Accountability and Implementation Board. Throughout the entire summer, June through the end of September, the AIB has held informational sessions. Some of those have been interactive and an opportunity to ask questions and talk about possibilities in terms of implementation. On October 26th, they released a comprehensive draft document. It's about 176 pages, but it includes all of the comprehensive look at all of the 5 pillars, along with some summary infographics that were released. Also on November 4th, they released a template for the criteria for success in terms of the information that we'll be gathering and reporting back, and the template and what it might look like in terms of the data that we would be providing. There was a public hearing on November 10th, where there were opportunities to provide some public testimony to the AIB regarding any questions or concerns about the implementation plan. And then they're still gathering feedback up until November 23rd. So there's still an opportunity for the public to provide some feedback. They can go to aib@maryland.gov and submit some feedback there. They're taking written testimony. And then on December 1st, they will give us a finalized plan of the template for reporting and a finalized comprehensive plan. And then by mid-March, we need to submit our final plan for Montgomery County to the AIB. Today we're talking about Pillar 4, more resources to ensure all students are successful. The blueprint identifies this as an expected outcome. Students who are from low-income households, attend schools with high concentrations of poverty, are English learners, require special education services, receive the additional resources and services they need to achieve in school, and their overall health and well-being. All students who need behavioral health services can access them. So this is the larger of all of the pillars, and it really includes a plan in place to help to support students who are underserved, students who may be struggling, students who may have other behavioral health needs, and it really elevates the health and well-being equally with the academics. So it's a very important pillar in terms of looking at all of our students and what they have access to, but also looking at subgroups of children and how they're performing as well. Next, I'll turn it over to Dr. Nikki Hazel.
Thank you. Not quite doctor yet, but thank you very much. I appreciate that. Just speaking into existence. That's right. So good morning, and I am going to speak about the strategies and resources that we're using to support our students. Certainly, we all know that our students are still experiencing some challenges as we've returned from the pandemic, and it certainly has impacted our Black and Brown students the most. And so we recognize that, and so going into this school year, we are entering with a theme of equitable teaching and learning, and our focus is really on excellent first instruction in our classrooms that engages all of our students, and we want to make sure that our instruction is taking place at the grade level standard. Sometimes there's this natural assumption that because students are struggling that we're going to remediate, and that is not what the research says needs to happen. We need to continue to teach our students at grade level standard if we expect them to meet those grade level expectations. And so excellent first instruction means that we must be affirming in our instruction. It must be culturally responsive, differentiated, and driven by data. And so that's the umbrella by which we are doing our work. And as we share the information with you today, we're thinking about it through that lens. This slide focuses on mathematics, and our goal in NCPS is for all of our students to successfully complete algebra by grade 7, 8, or 9. It really is about having a strong foundation in algebra. And we want to ensure that not only do they have a strong foundation, but that they have the conceptual understanding and that they're critical thinkers. That starts in kindergarten. And so as we implement our Eureka Mathematics curriculum at the elementary level, we've purchased tools, one of them being Math Equip. It's a pre-diagnostic tool that allows teachers to know where their students are and where they need to take them as they are entering the curriculum. Some may need a little bit more support. Some may be ready to move forward a little faster. So that is one tool that we've purchased to support our staff. We've also been doing a lot of professional development, not only with understanding content, but we've also been building the teacher's capacity to help build that mathematical thinking in our students. And we're also working to support our emergent multilingual learners, which is a fancy word for our ESOL students. We use that term now, and students with disabilities. Next slide, please. So as we talk about literacy, we recognized a couple of years ago that our data in literacy was really not moving. Certainly we recognized our student body was changing, but the practices that we had in place were 30, 40 years old in terms of our balanced literacy approach. So we did some study around the science of reading, and this year we decided to make a shift to a structured literacy approach at the primary levels in K1 and 2. And structured literacy is a strong focus on phonemic awareness, phonics, vocabulary, comprehension, those skills, and we've trained our teachers on a very systematic way to instruct our students so that they have that strong foundation at the primary level. We also purchased a new literacy assessment called DIBBLES. It stands for the Dynamic Indicators of Basic Early Literacy Skills, and that will help our teachers know in real time what skills they need to continue to develop in their students as they're doing their planning. At the secondary level, we're really excited that we are moving towards literacy across all content areas. It's not just something that happens in an English course, but that we want to see strong reading, writing, speaking, listening taking place in science, in a math course, and a social studies course. And we are partnering with the University of Maryland with some of our schools to really learn some strategies and skills for literacy that we can scale up into all of our secondary schools. So we're excited about that as well. On the next slide, we'll talk about our students with disabilities. The Office of Special Education works collaboratively with our curriculum office to meet the needs of our students with disabilities. And we are committed to providing high quality training to our general education teachers and our special education teachers to implement research-based and evidence-based practices related to specially designed instruction. And specially designed instruction is adaptations to content, methodology, or delivery of instruction. It's the way that we ensure that our students with disabilities are provided an opportunity to be instructed with their non-disabled peers in the least restrictive environment in the general education classroom. We also, for our special education students, require lots of supports to support the closing of the achievement gap. So we'll continue to use evidence-based, research-based reading and math interventions that will provide instruction in foundational skills while supporting students towards grade level content. And for our students with the most significant disabilities, we're working to ensure that we're monitoring their progress effectively and aligning the Common Core standards with alternative learning frameworks so that we can maximize their access to the curriculum while providing curriculum that's appropriate for their individual needs. The next slide focuses on what we are doing to support our multilingual learners. And I want to highlight a couple of programs that we have taking place in MCPS where we're really seeing great results for our students who are learning English. And we're really pleased with many of you might be familiar with the METS program that we have. We had a METS program at the elementary level and did some studying a few years ago and realized that when our students who have missed 2 or more years of education are actually placed in their local home schools with supports from staff from our office, they actually did better than the students that were in the METS program, and they actually exited faster. So at the elementary level, we have all of our students who have missed 2 or more years of education back in their home schools when they arrive to MCPS. And thanks to County Council, who provided funds for 6 coaches, we are able to go into schools and provide support to the students and the staff. And we are still seeing really great results with those students. And again, they're exiting that program much sooner. So we're really pleased with what's happening there. At the secondary, actually, I want to talk about also for elementary, we have our two-way immersion programs. That's another area where when we look at the data and we see emergent multilingual learners making nice progress, they're coming from our two-way immersion programs. So we're really pleased there. We have a partnership with the Center for Applied Linguistics, who's doing an evaluation of all of our emergent multilingual programming and two-way immersion, and they're giving us some nice feedback about some upgrades we can make to that program with the possibility of expanding in the future. So two-way immersion in our 6 schools, currently a Spanish-English partnership. And then we also want to highlight the work that is happening at the secondary level with co-teaching. We take our general education teachers and our language development teachers. They are partnering to plan together. In some cases, they co-teach together. And the content teacher is teaching that content, the language teacher teaching the language needed to access the content. And they are doing a really nice job of analyzing data and then again, creating those next steps and plans for students. So that is another really strong strategy that is taking place in our schools. I currently sit on the MSDE ELL work group and with other school districts and talk about recommendations that will be made as a part of the blueprint. I'm really pleased to share that a lot of the recommendations are already taking place in MCPS, but also getting some good ideas for improvements in the future. The next slide focuses on tutoring and our summer programs. So these are additional programs that we use to support our students. So while we expect our teachers to be teaching at grade level standard in the classroom, we also know that students are going to need additional support, and high dosage tutoring is one way that we can provide that for students. It plays out in a couple different models. We do have teachers, paraeducators, other adults in the school building that provide support to our students either before or after school. And we identify those students through data, and they are invited to participate in tutoring before or after school. And in cases where either there are not enough tutors in the school or there are just families who would like their child to be tutored, we're really excited that we have free tutoring for any student in MCPS who wants it through online services. We have 2 vendors, FEV Tutor and TutorMe, that provide services at this time. We recognize that there's a high demand, and so we are going to hire 2 more external vendors through the interviews that we've already done so that we can get started quickly with offering more tutoring services. Additionally, we know, and I actually attended an NAACP meeting last night and heard from parents they want more in-person tutoring, so we are working with the Office of Human Resources and Development to get tutors who are retirees, college students, and even high school students we're looking into. So that is something that we hope to get established and running very quickly.
So, Ms. Hazel, let me actually stop you there because you've engendered a lot of interest on this particular piece. I'm going to turn to Councilmember Jawando, followed by Council President Albornoz. I just wanted to say that this is something that was discussed very heavily at the Kerwin Commission in terms of how those services are distributed. And so I have some questions as well, but let me go to Councilmember Jawando, followed by Council President Albornoz.
Thank you. And I appreciate the answer here. You know, this was, as you heard at the NAACP meeting and other places, and I've been hearing from parents, and that this is an important part of the mix because so many kids, as we know from the data, have fallen behind or dealing with a whole set of issues. It's good to hear that you're looking into more in-person tutoring. I just want to press a little bit more, you know, as far as if you're a parent right today and you just got the report cards like we all did this week, right? And you're like, oh no, right? And there's parents out there that feel that way.
Yes.
And we need to, and conversations are happening all over the county, in the country, about what are we going to do to make sure my daughter, my son, my child can get caught up. What's step one to access tutoring services?
Step one is at this time, we can definitely offer tutoring services through the online service.
And
They
how
can
do
go
you
online.
You go online to MCPS?
They can go to MCPS. They can go on their school website. On their school website is a little banner that says free tutoring. It has the site. If they just click on it, they can get themselves signed up. Okay. I spoke to somebody who 2 days ago, they couldn't help with the homework. They just got signed up and immediately they were able to work with a tutor. So those two services are available. And again, we're looking for more. But we heard loud and clear they want the in-person, and we know that. We just need to get more bodies who are able to do that, and so we're working on that.
And what's the breakdown between, so I know there was you had the tutoring happening from current MCPS educators that signed up and were doing it either virtually, I think it was mostly virtually last semester, but you can correct me if I'm wrong. The balance between those folks versus the online, and who are the people that you're looking to hire that would be in person? How is that going to be delivered? After school, in the school, by MCPS educators that sign up and do it extra, which I know sometimes has been the case, or who's going to provide those services?
So last year and this year, currently, it has been our MCPS staff.
Right.
Teachers, paraeducators,
Right.
we have a wide range of staff members. And they do it either in person or some do it online.
Right.
We are looking to hire people to come in person.
Okay.
And, like I said, retirees and college students, things of that nature. We have to get through some of the processing and things of that nature, but that is what we want to do for either before school or after school. But we also know the research says that during school is even more effective. And so if we can get a retiree to come in during the school day and there's a time that's been set aside for students to get tutoring, that would be even better.
Yeah.
If we could have high dosage, really means 3 to 5 days. If we could get somebody who could consistently come in and work with an individual or a group of 3 students, that would be even more effective.
We had met with like JCA and InterAges a couple of years ago and tried to, and they have some transportation becomes an issue, the training, all the back end stuff to get people to the point to be able to enter a school.
Yes.
And I know you're aware of that, but I think there's great opportunity there as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll turn over to my colleagues, but this is just, as you know, and as you're going to hear from us, this is a huge part. I'm glad you're putting emphasis into it, and we want to know what we can do to support, because I think this is going to be a huge part of what we need to do going forward to make up these gaps and to meet our commitment to the blueprint. So thank you.
Council President Albornoz.
Thanks. That teed it up perfectly. So there is an infrastructure that already exists for some of these intergenerational programs that do a great job of recruiting older adults, retirees, not just necessarily folks that come as retired MCPS or from an academic space, but that want to be able to support and help. What I've seen, probably you have as well, in the last year, people feel more comfortable coming in person now than they did a year ago.
Yes.
And there is a lot of interest in support and help. So I'd love to follow up with you. There are a couple of programs in particular that our office has been working with. Councilmember Joanna just mentioned a couple of them that are ready to roll and just need some help financially to be able to take care of some of those transportation barriers, some of the training, some of the reasonable administrative work that it takes to recruit people and put them in the best position to be able to perform these jobs. But I think it would be a very valuable investment and help the teachers in the classroom who are not able to provide the level of focus that they'd like to be able to. And you're absolutely right about having opportunities within the day as well, which I think would be great. And the other powerful thing about this is that oftentimes the people that step up and volunteer, I heard this term the other day, I'm going to start using it a lot, is cultural humility, and can provide instruction in the languages of some of the students who are struggling, which has another benefit. And of course, the interpersonal relationships that's established through these intergenerational programs too helps with health and wellness. So there's a lot. This could be a win-win, and I'd love to follow up and see what we can do midstream, because these students need this help right now, as we know.
Well, thank you very much to both of you. And so, Ms. Rodriguez-Hernandez, if we can make sure that we bring this as a follow-up point the next time the E&C committee meets, we would like to schedule a follow-up on this. I'll just add a couple pieces of this. When we envisioned the tutoring, not only were we talking about interages and our intergenerational approach to this, but we were also talking about tapping into our resources that are here in Montgomery County. So many of our retirees are federal government employees, former university administrators, former veterans. All of those are pieces that we can pull from. And these are folks who are already drawing retirement. So they're not looking for benefits. Just as you heard from Councilmember Duando and Council President Albornoz, look, a little stipend to be able to ensure that if I have to ride the bus or if I have to take an Uber back and forth a couple days, well, $50 or $100 to pay someone to actually tutor in person one of our students is not a lot compared to what it is that we would spend to have a full-time teacher, salaried employee, to be able to do these kinds of things. And we know that that also is not possible. It's not possible. There are some of our teachers who have that flexibility, but let's be very clear, the majority of our teachers have families, right, have other responsibilities, and so to assume that they are somehow then supposed to magically just appear for tutoring is just not possible. And so we do need to build this other workforce and stop theorizing that somehow our teachers can fill that void. They can't, right? And so it's unrealistic for us to expect, nor to build that in as a part of our assumption in the model that somehow that's going to be the case. Because I know I've been a part of this for over a decade now, and I know what our union partners are going to say. And so from that standpoint, and this is not to say that they don't want to, it's just, but if I have a child at home of my own, where do I focus, right? And so that's the part as the son of a teacher, and then principal, and then university administrator. I know and I get it. And so from that standpoint, we've got to build a different model. And so that model is going to be incorporating a lot of our other resources that we have in the community. And this is where we had this initial conversation about the school system cannot do this alone. This is where the community, the outside community, is going to come in to help us to get there. And so we want to help you to do that. And so, Dr. Murphy, for you, I think that it's going to be important for us to really establish a Montgomery County Public School policy when it comes to, or not policy, a strategy when it comes to how to increase our tutoring workforce. And so that's going to be something that would delineate not just outreach, right, but an actual formalized plan of how it is that we think we're going to increase. And some of that's going to be money, Dr. Murphy. And so as you're formulating your budget right now, I want to make sure that I'm putting out there the marker that we understand that this is going to cost money. And it's something that we support. And so even though I'm leaving, I know, and speaking for my colleagues, because I know how much they care about this, that this is something that they will support in moving forward. So allow us to help you when it comes to making sure that we can get this part done. This is an incredibly important part. This is one of, I think, the key linchpins. When we talked about resources for students, this was one of the #1 pieces right here, this tutoring piece. Because again, what happens, and I'm sorry, but this is really important, because this is what happens, and you guys all know this. I saw it with my daughter, so I know all too well. A student is doing fine, and they get to one section of a lesson, and they're like, I don't understand it, I don't get it. And if the ability is not to get that student through, then the student says, I'm frustrated, I don't like this class, I don't like this course. And a student who had an A or a B goes to a C or D, and then they have to take the class over again, or whatever the case may be. And then they're frustrated and they're like, you know what, I don't like school. I don't like school because, and it's off of one class, but you have A's in all your other classes. I don't like school anymore. You know, and so these are the kinds of things that can easily happen, but it can easily be fixed. Now, for some of us, we can provide the resources as parents, as individuals, or go out and get additional resources to help that child. And then, okay, they get through that tough part of whatever it is that's in that class, and they end up being successful. But I promise you that there are students that are out there right now who are saying the exact same thing as I just said, and who are going to end up getting C's, D's, or fail a class. And guess what? And they don't have those resources to get through that part. And they're like, I don't like school. It happens. And I'm not even trying to be dramatic about it. We all know that it happens. And so from that standpoint, that's why this is so important. Because if we can invest just a small amount of time and money in making sure that we can get them through some of those tough, difficult classes or individual sections in those classes, we can actually ensure that more of our students are going to get through it and be successful. So I'm sorry, Ms. Hazel, but I think that it really is important that we spend a lot of time on this piece and come up with some concrete ways in which we're going to address this. You know, because I think that, again, what we have here is good in terms of philosophically, but I think that we need to add a little bit more substance in terms of an actual strategic plan around what it is that we're going to actually do and who we're going to use as our partners to be able to make these things happen and increase our cohort of tutors that are available for our students. I did have one other question. So online, because I went online and looked at it, and you've got 2 vendors, I guess, who do that. So is there a wait when it comes to this? Is there like a staggered waiting list for, or when I sign up for the online tutoring, I automatically get it and I'm assigned a slot, I'm assigned a time? How does that part work?
Yeah, so we did a huge push advertisement, and so we had over 1,000 families sign up in one day. And so right now they're signing up for a time to meet with the tutor, but they meet with them fairly quickly. Mm-hmm. And in other cases with the other, sometimes they can get on almost immediately. One is has the camera on, so there's a face-to-face, and the other, the camera is off. Okay. And just because they've done some research during the pandemic, saw that many kids didn't want their cameras on. Mm-hmm. So it's really about what the family prefers in terms of the style and approach. But yes, they can get a tutor fairly quickly.
And so is there, and I don't mean to interrupt, but is there, so there is not as an instance to where a person signs up now for an online tutor and cannot get one for a particular student for a particular class?
No, there are tutors offer services in all content areas, and so sometimes if I need it in Mandarin or something like that, sure, there may be a little delay as they're looking for somebody to provide the service, but in most cases it's fine. But we do have a number of interested, more families are interested, and so we know that we've just got to get more people on board. They're reaching their capacity.
So I'm going to push a little bit because one of the things that we do here on this council, and I know that MCPS is leading in this direction as well because I read it at the bottom in one of the opening slides, and Dr. Murphy, it was at one of the bottom of your slides. So equity. Obviously, my child who signs up for this online portal versus a child from a different circumstance who signs up from the online portal are going to be treated the same when it comes to access, which is a concern.
It is a concern, and I hear you. At this time, we are opening that online to anyone who wants it. The in-person is where we really prioritize the needs of the students based on data. We give our school some guidance documents around who should be considered, not who, but the data and measures around who should be considered for and receive an invitation. And so in that way, we try to make it more equitable. I do want to mention that we are actually offering now 4 regional sites on Saturdays. And again, if a teacher wants to recommend a student, they can certainly do so. But if a parent wanted to go to the teacher and say, you know, I'm interested in the Saturday option, they can go for 1 hour to one of our 4 regional sites and can also receive tutoring that way. Because we did hear from a lot of families that the before and after school just doesn't work for them with activities and things of that nature. Right. So that's another way we're making it more flexible. But we are prioritizing for those students with the in-person based on data.
Thank you. Councilmember Duano.
Yeah, and I promise you we'll let you move on. So this is something that was like the pandemic has done that just exacerbated a problem that was already there,
yes.
Right? Where we needed to have this access for kids to catch up. This is the first time I heard about those 4 regional.
That's new.
Okay, yeah, I think we were just talking about that. I know about the Saturday school program, but that's different than what you're talking about here. And so if I haven't heard about it, a lot of people probably haven't heard about it, you know. I think I will say a couple well, let me make my first point. We're going to have a multi-year, I couldn't agree more, strategic plan. This is going to have to be a focus as part of our path back. But really, we should have, you know, we're hearing even pre-pandemic that and knew we needed to have a strategy to make sure that we had the individualized instruction to get kids where they need to be anyway, right? So I think there was an argument probably we needed to have a robust out of school tutoring / plan anyway. So I think this is good in the sense that it's making us, we have to focus on it. It has to be multi-pronged. You heard about and leveraging our community, our seniors, our young people, other people, you know. And it shouldn't be something that goes away. It should be some infrastructure that's created forever, you know, as part of our community effort to help our kids learn, right? And so I just want to make sure it's seen that way. And I know you all, I see you nodding, but that I think it's going to be important that we build this infrastructure for the long term, right? Because I was just talking to Councilmember Albornoz, you know, pre-pandemic, I had this whole thing. We were working with some of our senior groups, and we had a robust thing. Then COVID hit, and we just kind of how to get them into the schools. You know, I was like, how do you get, you know, because you always hear we go to Leisure World or somewhere, and you have a group of seniors that want to have the time, would love to adopt one of our 210 schools. I think it's, you know, like, but they can't get through all the hoops, and they don't know how to do it, and they don't know where to start, and they don't know how to get there, and they might need some money, all the things we've been talking about. So I think that development of that infrastructure is for now, but forever. You know, and it should be a focus of how we have community-based schools, right? Which is part of what we're talking about here. So I just want to make that point. And I think there's great opportunity for us to lead and do that well because, you know, we have, you know, Gabe always says we have one of the, you know, highest rising senior populations in the, you know, as part of our county. And we've got people all across the spectrum. I think we have a unique opportunity and it's needed right now. So why not make the investment now? The other thing I wanted to say is, on the equity piece, if you go to the website, you got to have the MCPS ID, your student's ID. If you've got an elementary school student, most of us don't know what those emails are. The hoops the barriers to get to actually signing up, I'm a lawyer, right? I can do it, but it can be hard. I'm just going to tell you, as an MCPS parent, to get through the logins and get through whatever you need to get to actually get to and have the time. I know I'm not telling you something that's not new to you. We have to get better there because we're just losing people. Each step, we lose people. What, God forbid you have a language barrier, right? Or you don't have time, or you don't know what the login ID is, or, So I think moments in time like this where everyone just got their report cards, this is an opportunity for us to have another kind of offensive to really walk people through the process, get people signed up. So I just wanted to make that point too, because I do think we're losing, even though we have great things available and you're working to get more identified, I do worry about the people who drop off throughout the process because it becomes difficult for them. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. And actually, we have a tip sheet and guidance document for our teachers for parent conferences. So we will add something about tutoring and maybe making sure that the student ID is on that sheet for the parents as
So
they're
it's
meeting
easy.
with, so that they have that when they sign up. So thank you for that recommendation.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Hazel, back to you.
Thank you. I'm almost done. Just very quickly, summer schools, another area where we had resources to support our students. We reduced the numbers last year to 35,000 students because we just wanted to make sure we were targeting those students who needed it. So again, we invited students to summer school and we had it at all schools. We're looking again this year, again with staffing and other things, we want to make sure that it's quality programming. And again, we'll be looking at data to invite students for next year's program as well. So it'll probably look a little different, but again, targeting students. And then my last slide focuses on.
Can I
yes.
just one of those pieces at the end, because we talked about this ad nauseum in the Kerwin Commission as well with the extended school year. There's been a lot of conversation around why we continue to have a 10-month school year that was based on antiquated historical for what we did as a society versus where we are now. And so the question remains why it is that we continue to be on a 10-month cycle. And I know that we've increased a number of our extended school year schools and still have a process. So I think, Dr. Murphy, this is more for you philosophically for the system and its direction. Are we looking at as we expand the number of schools that we're doing with extended school year and seeing the data that comes back that seems to be positive, because there is no summer slide anymore. It's continual learning, just as you would expect from a place that's focused on learning. So from that standpoint, where are we when it comes to that direction?
So I know when I joined MCPS earlier this summer, one of the first presentations that I saw to the board was from the two schools that are the innovation schools that do have the extended calendar, Arcola and Roscoe Nix. And so we're looking very closely, and you will probably be pretty assured that you're going to see that in our budget this year as we look to expand. We also, I want to make you aware, are looking at the evaluation as well. Are we seeing the results that we want to see? The first indication after 1 year with that implementation is it's very positive, but we need to continue to keep an eye on that. And then the other piece is something I think we're all talking about that's sort of universal, whether it's tutoring, whether it's extended calendar, it's time, and providing that opportunity of time so students can learn. So yes, you will be seeing that in the upcoming proposal here a little bit later this spring.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And Ms. Hazel, look, the great thing about it is that all the questions, and this isn't a snub from Ms. Backey, but all the questions are actually like, we're engaged, right? We want to be involved, and so it's a really good thing,
Yeah.
even though I apologize about us continuing to interrupt, but it's really good because a lot of this is substantive and is, I think, instrumental in terms of truly getting to that point of our success. And so these are some of the key linchpins. So please, back to you.
Okay, this is my last slide. Transitional supplemental instruction is really focusing on providing intervention support for our students, just to make sure that by grade 3, they are on track and on target. And so we have purchased interventions. We've collaborated with the Office of Special Education to identify evidence-based interventions, and we've purchased specific ones that we have trained paraeducators to use, our teachers and other staff members, and identified students who need very targeted and specific academic needs. These interventions come with their own assessments and things of that nature. They can be given to students before and after school as well, or during the school day. And we're getting some really nice results from students, particularly in the area of literacy. So that is my last slide, and I'm going to hand it over to Mr. Monteleone.
So before Mr. Monteleone,
no.
I do have one last question about this one.
Okay.
There's one more. Not done yet. No. Yeah, exactly. Ms. Hazel's going to be like, man, I'm happy this is his last meeting. No. The KRA.
Yes.
Does Montgomery County Public Schools use the KRA or a similar instrument? And if not, are we looking to do something like that?
Yes, we do use the kindergarten readiness assessment in all of our schools, and we use the data to help support and guide instruction for our teachers. But yes.
No, and I just wanted the millions that are watching at home. It's the last time I get to say that in this minute. But the millions that are watching at home to understand that, because I think that it's important. The early identification was another thing that we talked about. We talked about it in the early childhood education work group that I chaired. But we also talked about it in this context as well. It's incredibly important. And so those evaluations, just so our parents know, are there not to stifle a child, but to help a child to get the resources that are necessary so that they can be successful earlier instead of waiting and being misdiagnosed with some other kind of attention deficit disorder or whatever the case may be, when in reality the child has dyslexia, right? And so it's understanding all of those kinds of things earlier to get that child back on track and with the resources that they need. So thank you. This is another incredibly important point. Ms. Beck.
I just wanted to add one thing. To support your statements that the blueprint does provide for the additional funding for infants and toddlers so that we can really focus in on early intervention, early screening, and then expansion of duty centers for early childhood and comprehensive wraparound services for the families, as well as the family support centers or the PADI centers for prenatal moms. So it's really built into the blueprint to be able to reach people earlier, to help provide more screening and then get services and supports directly to them. Thank you.
Mr. Monteleone, I know you've been waiting.
I have been waiting. Thank you so much. It's wonderful to be here once again and to talk about all the things that we're doing in MCPS around student mental health and well-being. I anticipate the same level of engagement from the council. But as has been a theme here throughout this conversation, we are, as a society, as a country, as a local community, and certainly as a school district, continuing to deal with the after effects of, I would say, not just the pandemic, but a confluence of crises that we saw over the last several years with our students. And one thing that really emerged, and as was alluded to, it's not that this wasn't an issue prior to the pandemic, but it just exacerbated it, and that was the mental health and the well-being of our students. And as Dr. Murphy referenced earlier, the issue of student mental health and well-being really is centered as perhaps the number one issue in public education today. And so we really take this at the core of the work that we do as part of our strategic priorities. And so, and I think that as we've circled around this, I would offer that to certainly put mental health and well-being at the center requires a paradigm shift, right? You spoke about the antiquated system that we have, the agrarian roots of this system, but it's also a system that was built upon pedagogy, content, information, teach, learn, assess, keep it moving. And so we have just seen this expansion of the need to wrap around our students. And we believe, and I do believe that you all as well agree that this is not only a whole child. We often hear whole child. It's a whole school, it's a whole district, and it's really a whole community endeavor. And just in my short time here at Central Service over the last year, I've seen the commitment that you all have had to this, and we sincerely appreciate that. And so beyond this, a prerequisite for academic success is mental health and well-being, period. Right? If students are not well, they cannot succeed. And we've heard about equity. A big theme of our work is anti-racism, and I would posit that for our students of color, and hopefully for all students, there is no space of well-being unless that space is rooted in equity and anti-racism, and that's the environment that we are creating in that classroom. Only then, right, are students able to have their needs met and be ready to learn. And so we really are working in the district to not look at anti-racism and wellness and education or instruction as three separate entities, but they are intertwined. So they manifest themselves in our classroom. And we know our students have told us, right, we've seen it in student voice data. They have been struggling with peer-to-peer communication, self-esteem, and confidence, stress, anxiety, and feeling sad and depressed. So with that, I go through our system-wide kind of infrastructure, if you will, to these behavioral supports. And one of the key pieces that has evolved, and these are dense slides, and I may not hit every single bullet deeply, but I will certainly touch upon them and then go deep into some. And the first one is really significant. The student well-being teams came about during the pandemic. I remember I was a principal here at Richard Montgomery High School, and we were literally looking for students, right? Who's not logging in? Who do we need to find? Who's having trouble paying rent? Who needs food? Whose parents have lost their jobs? And so we developed these student well-being teams to really meet those needs, and they involved all of our school-based, wellness professionals, counselors, our psychologists, our administrators, so on and so forth. They have evolved, and so they are. And I've been visiting them throughout the school year. On the student well-being team, not only do we see those school-based professionals, but we also see our partners, right, that are part of our Bridge to Wellness programs at the high school level. We see our social workers, right? We have 25 social workers in each of the high schools. We have a central office team who supports the middle and elementary. They are part of this process. And we are developing with our partners in technology innovation a multi-tier system of support dashboard, because we can tell you how many students are accessing the student well-being teams. We can tell you right now why they're accessing the student well-being teams. We can even tell you, if we look deeply into what the interventions are that we are providing. We have not to this point, but we are training all of our staff as we speak through the end of this calendar year on this new system within our Synergy platform to be able to track the students, the need, the intervention, the outcome. What is the impact of the services that we are providing? And through the student well-being team, it's really the conduit for where our students can connect with our partners in positive youth development. It's where our students can connect with external resources the school may not have. It is really where we have that handoff, our structure, from the student in the school to the students specifically at the high school in the Bridge to Wellness centers and the 6 long-established wellness centers. So it's a key component, and we're really excited about the expansion of that platform. In addition to this, we are in our second cohort of our Leader in Me social emotional lessons. We had 70 schools in year 1. We are now in year 2. It's 70 more schools. We'll get into our third cohort next year. And I will say, while we're here with the theme of equity, we heard feedback from our students and our staff last year that some of these lessons were not culturally proficient, or they did not offer cultural humility, if you will. And so we did work hard with Covey to revamp those and revitalize those. And we shared those slides. And so we shared that in slides to the board previously. And so we have heard positive feedback with those revisions. And while there's still some work to do there with how they're implemented in our high schools, we have really had outstanding feedback in the lower grades, where elementary schools are really leaning and making this a pillar of the well-being work that they do. We continue to see positivity there, really at all levels. All of our staff, as they have been for years, have required training around behavioral and trauma support, mental health. We continue to do that. Regarding SHAPE, the School Health Assessment Performance Evaluation System. So this is being conducted in partnership with the National School Mental Health Center and the Maryland State Department of Education, and it is used by over 15,000 schools in 50 states. And so part of this is a national health assessment, and we're working to really implement the tools and resources to meet this. And so MCPS is going to be working with some volunteer schools who wish to take the individual school assessments, right? And this is one thing that we look at. We have a lot of baseline data, certainly in terms of literacy and math. But we are in a place, as that paradigm shifts, to looking at what is our baseline data around well-being and mental health. so that we can truly track this at the district level, drill down to those individual schools, calibrate our approach where we see that the data is speaking to us. Beyond that, we continue to expand our restorative justice services. And so we have 10 full-time restorative justice specialists deployed across the district through each of their areas, and we have 210 in each of our comprehensive schools RJ coaches. And so not only do restorative justice professionals engage in that restorative conversation after a conflict, but they are out there working with our staff development teachers. Thank you. We have a full 1.0 fully released at every school to build restorative justice into each school's learning progression and school improvement plan. So we look at this data and we want to see the incidents and then the disposition. Is the school utilizing, and we can track that, is the school utilizing restorative justice disposition for insubordination, right? For disrespect, some of these subjective infractions. So we continue to see that. We have a mental health coordinator who supports my office and cuts across offices to provide professional learning and learning progressions on how to increase our capacity for everybody in the building, from teachers to support personnel, main office secretaries, to engage students from a sense of positive presupposition and from a sense of welcoming and to make them feel well. So working with building that into all of our professional learning. Next slide.
1 second.
Yeah, please.
Council President Albornoz.
Thank you. And some of this you may touch on this slide, so I think we can go through this one, and then I'll wait till you're done, and then I'll have a bunch of thoughts and questions.
I realize I have 5 slides, and these are dense, but some of the things that we looked at last year as we were really in the midst of really a challenging year was, we're not going to staff our way out of this, right? And funding is finite. So what are some of the great practices that we're seeing across schools right now? Where do we see schools that are excelling with some of the resources and the staff that they currently have? And what we found is we canvassed schools and we went out to schools and we met with middle schools, elementary schools, and high schools, and we saw incredible practices such as a dedicated time for wellness. Right, so that may be a lesson in the elementary school that's built into part of their schedule. Every single middle school has advisory. That's been a traditional piece of middle schools. But what that advisory looks like, what we do during that space, maybe it's not always academic. So we are utilizing those spaces at the high school level. I'm a high school guy. I've basically been in high school since I graduated college until I came to this level. Advisory just started taking root in our culture pre-pandemic. And now we know every single high school has some form of advisory that is no longer just at the end of the marking period. Some do it daily, some do it weekly, some do it bi-weekly. But those are spaces, and they don't call it advisory. They might call it Rocket Refresh at RM or Cougar Time at Quince Orchard. And these are places where students learn about how to cope with mental health challenges. It's a place where we do mindfulness activities. We bring in therapy dogs and all the rest into these spaces. So really excited about that. Our middle schools were key in piloting what they call, and I know we have a lot of wellness center, like a mindfulness room, if you will, or a space for wellness. And this is a place where a student can help self-regulate and say, I'm struggling right now, and I'm going to choose the mindfulness room or the wellness space. Can I access that? And that's a way we're trying to coach kids into self-de-escalation, and even for a teacher to say, I'm not hitting the eject button on this student right now, send to the office. Would you like to take a time out, or would you like to go to the wellness space? And if you visit our schools, they have sofas, they have bean bags, they have blue lights, and they're really wonderful spaces and soothing music, and it's really been innovative. Going, and I could go through and through each of these pieces here. But we continue to build in, changing not to say changing, but modifying the mindset of our staff about, yes, you teach, but you also create spaces of wellness. So the street data, the data that we collected data at the end of last school year, district-wide, on how our students are doing, and that is where we heard about the self-esteem and the conflict resolution and things of that nature. So these are all things that we worked with schools. I think it's important to lean into leadership at the school level and then elevate these practices district-wide. So these are some of the enhancements we're seeing that are really grassroots enhancements coming to scale this year.
Council President.
So thanks for that presentation. I know there's a lot of really good work going on. I know there's a lot of collaboration going on. I also know this is a really complex issue. And it's not just a money issue. So there's not enough behavioral specialists out there right now to be able to fill the need, let alone have the resources to hire them in a culturally competent way. And so it is an all hands on deck. And I guess I want to break this up in a couple of different thoughts. The first is, I think we need to do more to take care of the caretakers, because our teachers are exhausted. They're burned out. They're trying their best to follow the new policies in place with regards to restorative justice. But as we transition into what has to be a transition, we are hearing from parents that there is no accountability when a student, when there's an issue. In not all parents, but we've heard sort of anecdotally that is a challenge. And last night at our town hall, there was a middle school student who shared a story or expressed a concern about fights that had been happening on buses. And I shared a personal story of something that had happened to me when I was in 7th grade. I stayed afterwards to talk to her about it. And she mentioned that the 2 students that were causing all of the problems, they had been reported, and yet nothing had felt like it had been done. And her mom was actually there. And she had expressed a similar concern, to the point where she's no longer allowing her daughter to go on the school bus because she's concerned about what's happening, and that there are no consequences for the students who are rising up these challenges and problems. That may not be true, but that is the perception, at least, of this particular family. So I think, but again, it's a complex issue, and we all, as I said, have a role to play. I'll also mention that this is a joint session with the HHS committee, and our Street Outreach Network, we've invested greatly in their work, and we continue to be very confident in the work that they do, because that time frame, those 8 hours that the school system has these students pale in comparison to the amount of hours that they are out of school, where a lot of the conflict arises, and there's nothing that the school system can do about it directly. So these types of partnerships, authentic partnerships, where we are providing referrals, where we are helping to, within both the school day but outside of the school day, provide resources. And the other real big missing piece here is parents who are struggling, and in many cases don't know what to do with students who are struggling themselves, don't know what resources to be able to access, similar to the tutoring conversation, and they don't know where to go to get help. And we, I've been in the youth development space for almost 20 years when you put it all together. And what I'm hearing from folks that are still on the front lines doing youth development works is they're seeing so many parents come to them with waving white flags saying basically they've given up. And so like the systems that we're building, the presentation you've given are all really good. And I know that a lot of time and attention has been placed to this. But we are being creative in how to address these, really systemic issues that in some ways go beyond any of our one individual capacity to be able to handle. But I do want to follow up on this as well. Specifically this component, this infrastructure, and I'd like to invite HHS to the table in a follow-up conversation to, do a deeper dive in what more we can do systemically, and also bring in some of our nonprofit partners and some of our other key stakeholders who are doing a lot of work in this space and are helping in many ways. But I do very much respect and appreciate the priority that the school system has placed on this issue, because it is a foundational issue to everything else we're talking about right now. But I'll end where I started and just ask a question. So, love that the training is becoming available to teachers and administrators, but what are we doing to support the teachers and administrators and the bus drivers and everybody within the school system who's doing their best to provide support for these students, in addition to providing support for the students.
Certainly. So, and I will address that question, sir, but I think if you would, I'd love to follow up with you, perhaps to get the contact of the middle school family that you referenced at the beginning of your story. I'd also just like to say I was on Zoom and present for the meeting that occurred last week with the county executive. I was unable to make the meeting last night because I was at the NAACP meeting and we were talking about this exact same issue. Okay, so it is very much front and center in our minds in MCPS. To your points about Street Outreach Network, we have an incredible team. It's with the Montgomery County Police, with Ms. Treadvance and HHS team, Mr. Cardona, as well as MCPS, and a multi-agency team that meets bi-weekly. It probably is about every third week in actuality, where we are, this is this think tank where we are mapping out what this increasingly important relationship looks like in our schools. And as you all know, right, Street Outreach Network is a vital part of our Bridge to Wellness program. So we are aligned with you in continuing that integration. And with respect to the question about teachers, and staff caring for the caregivers, this is certainly a theme. We do have like an employee assistance program. It is traditionally, prior to the pandemic, had been the vehicle, right, for this type of work, and it's a supply-demand situation right now. Where we currently are is in each of our schools, we have a school improvement plan, and as we talked about a paradigm shift, it used to be pretty much just about academics, move the data, move the English, move the math. In each of our high schools, or all of our schools rather, I should say, we are focused on really these three pillars in those school improvement plans, and I'm working with my colleagues who supervise schools. We've developed a framework for following up on exactly this theme. Not only is it academics and literacy and math that should be part of that plan, not only does the plan have to be rooted in equity and anti-racism, but that well-being pillar is there, and it's well-being for students and staff. And so and I can just give you anecdotally, I would say publicly, I was at Quince Orchard High School 2 days ago, visiting their student well-being team. Simultaneously, in the media center right next door, Principal Thomas had the staff from the Bridge to Wellness program, the social worker, our MCPS social worker, leading staff. Their learning progression is part of the staff wellness, leading staff through staff wellness mechanisms, providing resources, coping mechanisms, and literally bringing people together in groups, if you will, that tier 2 support to process this. So we're trying to, again, build, instead of a program or something, we want to bake this into how we create cultures in our buildings and how we create the relationships that our staff have with our administrators, right? And certainly with us here at Central Service. But this is a to be continued. I do not have a magic wand answer for you right now, but I can speak to we are cognizant of this, and we are trying to use existing channels and structures to address it at each and every school. It's really about the culture, the climate, how that teacher feels in that school, and when they have stress and they're concerned, do they feel as though they have a trusted peer, not necessarily a trusted adult, a trusted peer with whom they can speak. Mm-hmm.
So one of the things that I thought was very interesting is that the model that you described is basically our Kennedy cluster model, all of our cluster models at each and every one of our schools, and you're talking about our school well-being teams. It is a concept that I know that Councilmember Navarro was adamant about from the very beginning in terms of partnering with DHHS, and I do want to acknowledge the great work of our Department of Health and Human Services, who continues to partner with Montgomery County Public Schools to provide that wraparound support and service. So one of the things that I would like, and again, this is for the future, is to make sure that when we have these types of conversations that DHHS is at the table when we're talking about these kinds of things, because I think that, again, as we're talking about them and their supports without them being here, it makes it a little bit kind of odd. So I always like to have people at the table. But I do think, and the reason why is because I have a couple questions around with the Kennedy cluster model, and I sat in on a number of those interventions, support interventions, with parents and students. And so, of course, had to sign saying that I wouldn't disclose, any of the information that was given, all that kind of stuff. But it was a great opportunity to see what it is that's happening with our kids. And so everything from pregnancy to issues with incarceration of parents, to a death of a family member. It ran the gamut from everything under the sun. And I think that, again, it's understanding that the issues, just as Council President Albornoz said last night at the Teen Town Hall, our kids are dealing with so much more than we've ever had to deal with. It truly is something to where, even growing up in one of the more quote-unquote urban areas of Montgomery County. I went to Montgomery Blair High School, which was the southernmost high school closest to the District of Columbia in Montgomery County, so everybody thought that that meant something. But we never had incidents of a shooting or any kind of stabbing or murder of a fellow classmate. The worst thing we ever heard was there was a fight in the cafeteria or a fight after school. But these kids are dealing with the fact of their classmates being murdered all the time. And I say all the time because I'm not talking about like once in in the career of a student. I'm talking about my daughter at Northwest High School, who just had Jalen Jones lost, and when she was a freshman, had Trey that was lost, Trey Dawkins that was lost. So again, this is stuff that becomes common nature that our kids are dealing with. And so it really is one where I think that this piece also needs to be lifted up in terms of what it is that is our concrete plan of what it is that we're going to see. And so I want to just jump in on the student well-being teams at all schools and understand what it is are the services that are provided by that team. I saw that you had the social and emotional, mental health assessments, all those kinds of things, but what are the services that are being provided for those particular students as a part of that?
Certainly, please. Let me address that. So I'll walk you through just kind of a scenario. It might be an easy way to see this, right? So it could be any number of reasons. So I'll generalize, but say we have students who are referred just because of attendance, spotty attendance. Kid's not there 3 days in a row, 5 days in a row. A teacher may see a student coming in, and they're there every day, but the hoodie's up, the eyes might be a little red, earbuds are in, they're just kind of chilling at the desk, right? Could be a possible student. We might have counselors, right? So our counselors are usually like that first mental health responder, if you will, right? Traditionally throughout the culture of schools. And so if they're having check-ins with a student and they realize this is more than just a typical teen who is struggling, and this teen may need like therapeutic counseling, that we may be looking at depression, we may be looking at severe anxiety, like God forbid a suicidal ideation, any of these types of things, that student would go to the student well-being team. It could be that we have knowledge that the student's family is struggling. There's a divorce. There is food scarcity. There's income insecurity, right? The student, I've seen this as a principal. The kid shows up in a t-shirt in January. A teacher is going to say, we need to get this kid some winter clothes, all right? So it could be any of these things. And so the way the process usually works right now, and again, I've been canvassing schools every week since school started to get into this space, to see how we are partnering with our external partners, HHS partners, so on and so forth, and to see this process. And so here's generally how it works. Schools have a Google form. It may be submitted weekly. It may be on a local school digital platform, Canvas somewhere. Any staff member usually can access this. Now, I'm not going to say that's the exact same for 210, and let me also say that because this particular version of student well-being teams is new, we are studying, we are looking at the best practices around the schools as we codify what this looks like, right? So there are some variations level of autonomy, but let's go back to that form and wherever it may exist. Any staff member generally will enter their concern, the student, what they're seeing, drop-down menus, what have you. this kicks to a spreadsheet, right? We have then it's a database that is created. And there are, so anything the teachers may or the staff may put in there, then we monitor this spreadsheet weekly. And that is monitored by our student well-being team coordinator and assistant principals. And thank you again for the funding. We have stipends for our student well-being team coordinators and also a well-being team data person. So they usually man this or attend to this, I should say. And then the student goes on to this spreadsheet, and at the you have weekly meetings in most schools, some are bi-weekly, and they literally, I was in a different school yesterday, not QO, student by student. And one thing that is generally asked is of the person who fills out the form, what have you done, right? Like, have you called the parent? Have you talked to the student? What do we know about the service provided thus far? And you have lots of people in here, lots of clinicians. So this is literally where we say this is a case where the student needs to be on our social worker's caseload at the high school level. If it's an elementary and middle school and it's a social worker case, that's where our central service team that supports multiple elementary and middle schools will take that student. If it is a student that we believe needs to go to the HHS clinical providers at the high school level, right, certainly we will go in that direction. If we need to get outside external clinical mental health support for a student at the elementary or middle school level, that is where that student well-being team would work through the pupil personnel worker traditionally, who has traditionally worked to access services, rent assistance, what have you, outside, right, of the school. We have our psychologists on that team, right? So if it is a case where it rises to a psychologist level, the psychologist can provide that support. So it's really a continuum of interventions based upon the need of the student and the staff that we have. And the beauty of this team is it is almost like, for lack of a better word, a clearinghouse, right? It is where we triage, we identify, and then we are tracking that data. That's really what it looks like in reality.
Excellent. No, I appreciate that. And I think that, again, as we look at, and Dr. Murphy, this is another one for you to put on your list. I already see you feverishly writing down, but this is something from a budgetary standpoint that we want to make sure that the resources are there to ensure that across the board we have that equitable resource. Part of the challenge is, and I saw this with the implementation of the bullying bill that came up last night, that I enacted when I was in the state legislature, that mandated that every single school system throughout the state of Maryland have a complex anti-bullying policy. But it's all in terms of how you adhere to that policy, and everyone is different in terms of their implementation of that. What we want to ensure for something like this, especially, just as we want to ensure for anti-bullying, is that we have consistency across the board. And that's what you were talking about, Mr. Monteleone, and so I couldn't agree with you more. I appreciate your dedication in going to the different schools to see it happen and understand the context of what works and what doesn't. But when we get to that point, and we are not there yet, so I completely understand this is for the future, but when we do get to the point of understanding what our best practices is, it will be important for us to ensure from an equitable standpoint that we have that consistency then laid out in terms of processes and procedures to ensure that we don't have children that are misidentified, that aren't given resources. And just as you said, the person with the hoodie up and the glassy eyes who really is sad every single day and is not high and is on marijuana, right? Because it could be either of the two, right? And you have no idea until you do that intervention. But we all know, right, the description that was there were some who were like, oh, that's describing a child who maybe is on drugs or whatever the case may be. Or some of us like, hey, that child is a person who's depressed and is suffering from depression, right? And neither one is wrong. Right? Neither one is wrong. Don't get me wrong. None of them are wrong. But it's like, then we have to do that due diligence to go in and ensure that our teachers are making sure that they're finding out and then stepping it up to that next level. So thank you. Thank you for your answer.
100%.
Yeah, no, we are on the same page. So thank you. I really appreciate that. Councilmember Jawando had a question or comment.
Yeah. Thank you. This is a great conversation, and we will lot to follow up on it. Continuing conversation as I look forward to it. And since this is the one where we're talking about resources, I just got to, I was hearing you talk about the answer to Council President's question about supports for the educators, right? The professionals in the building. I've seen it firsthand. We all know this has been hard on our kids, which makes it hard on the adults to try to meet the needs of the kids, right? And I think part of the fundamental issue is that we've been looking at in education for a long time is, do we have enough people and resources with the right skills in the rooms to meet the needs of our students? Like, we got to go way upstream, because it's nice to have a meeting at QO that you described about shouldering and managing stress and all that, which is because you have to deal with the reality of where you are, but we also have to plan for a different future. And so I think we're at a moment in history right now where we have a fundamental question, and it's not just our question, but we are the 15th largest school district in the country, right? But it's a question for the nation. How are we going to respond to this moment? Are we going to say we have to fundamentally change or add staff to lower student-teacher ratios and address because there's a reason if you have 34 kids and 20 are students with disabilities and 10 English as a special second language and all 30 are free and reduced lunch, that's hard. And I know we have some systems in place to address that, but it's not nearly enough. And I think, and we can't do it all at once, right? But I am looking for, in this new term, in this new era, bigger solutions to the fundamental problem, because I'm tired of seeing the 3 to 5 year burnout. I've seen it in the life of my kids, and you got a bright-eyed person that comes in and they want to change the world, and they're gone in 4 years, or they're beat down. And that's just happening. And it's not, no one at MCPS wants that to happen. No one over here wants it. But we have to address that fundamental issue. And Kerwin is in the blueprint is part of that. And yes, more pay, but I think we need more people. So I just want you to address that. And this is the time where we need to address that and have a plan to address that.
So I certainly can defer to Dr. Murphy, but as having recently left the schoolhouse, right, and having been a teacher in MCPS in some form or another since the mid-'90s at what we used to call an emotional disability program at Paint Branch, right, way back in the 90s. And I've been at Northwood, and I taught at BCC. I was principal at RM. I've been in an array of communities in this district. And a theme throughout my career, and I'm sure all my fellow educators, has been exactly what you described: time. Teachers need, I also had the opportunity to teach in Europe, in Vienna, and the difference in the quality of the day-to-day existence of teachers in Europe. And I would just say, I know we're talking big,
Sure.
we're talking big,
Yeah.
so let's talk big. I think if you were to speak to our association partners, yes, pay, but they consistently talk about planning time, about time to breathe, about time to think, about time to reflect. And those class sizes, and I know there's different research out there about the size of the class,
Yeah.
and how much of a difference it makes in academics. But I can tell you, as somebody who taught for 15 years, is that it does make a difference to the teacher and their ability to provide individualized attention, their ability to be able not just to manage a factory existence of instruction, but again, time. Teachers are on a conveyor belt. We talk about that, go back to the agrarian system or the antiquated system. We design schools really to train people to work in factories, and we set it up as an institution.
Right.
Look what a building looks like in a school. It looks like other institutions out there. And so teachers are the only adults with master's degrees or doctorates that can only use the restroom every 45 minutes, right? And have to get a college. And so I agree with you. And I know I'm venturing out of the wellness space here, but I think if we talk about like how can we retain staff, they have to be energized. They can't leave the schoolhouse every day wiped out,
Right.
to go home to their child who is struggling with a class, to make dinner at home, to then coach them with Algebra 1 that maybe they
Right.
haven't had since 1990 or something. I mean, like, this is the reality of our teachers. And so I applaud your thinking.
Well, I
honestly.
appreciate it. So give me some answers, Dr. Murphy, Dr. McKnight,
sorry.
Dr. Nick. You know, like today, not just today, but I really appreciate you saying that. I mean, you can't. It is central to wellness. You're not out of your lane, because if our faculty and our adults are not well, the students can't be well. And I really feel like we're at a critical breaking point in education, in your right to go big in the United States. You know how we approach it. So I want us to try to lead, and I think we do. It's not one solution. We got to try things. You know, like the extended day is great, but you got to have the teachers, the extra paraeducators. There's a lot of ways to approach it. Not everyone has to be, an actual, MCA teacher. Could you have paras that you have more of them in class? There's a lot of potential solutions, but I do think we're at a moment in time where we have to start reflecting that in our budget and making the case to the public about why we need to. Just the changing demographics of our school system, of who we're serving, require us to do that. If there's any comments, now I would love to hear some, but I just hope that in this budget process we can start that work. I know that's going to make it tough for us, but I think the parents, the teachers, the educators, everyone's demanding it. And we can't just say we're going to squeeze, $1.50 out of $1. It's just not going to work. We can't continue to do that. And the time piece is something that we hear, and you can just see this playing out. If people don't have time, if they're stressed out, they're going to leave. We're going to have problems, and we have to start addressing it. Dr. Murphy.
So I'll briefly piggyback on this, but just another recognition or another piece that we have to face is that we're seeing not as many people pursue the education field or the education path, and I think that's a reality. But one of the things that we've learned from the pandemic is that we can deliver services, teaching and learning, support in a variety of different ways, and that has probably been the sweet spot of that recent experience. So how we deliver these services or how we provide education to students can come in a variety of different ways. You've also heard from families say, you know what, my child didn't particularly like school, but they have excelled in the virtual environment. They've really done well. So I think we have to think about individuals, what those individual needs are, and then deliver those services in the variety of way. Higher education, our community colleges, our universities play a part in that.
Absolutely.
And I think that's weaved in here to the blueprint, and it's weaved into how we can also look at having children accelerate. We've got to get out of that traditional step by step mode. Are there a variety of different paths that people can pursue, and do we need to break up the calendar? The calendar is really sort of tying us down to some extent. Do we need to unleash what that calendar looks like?
Right.
That's
only another way to provide time.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. We're sort of in this traditional, one step at a time mode, and I think you're going to see some of those things. The only other piece I'll add, and I think Damon touched on this, is case management is key, and I think that you've heard him sort of express it that way. But those case management issues are really key, and I've found that that's going to be our greatest success in how we case manage each individual student, so we can get them whatever support he or she needs, and so that they in fact can be successful
Through whatever medium that we have.
Exactly.
I agree. Those are all part of it. So good. I have more to come, but I appreciate you indulging me.
One of the really nice things, and Dr. Murphy, let me tell you that this was not the case back when now that I reflect upon my tenure on the council, 12 years ago, we didn't have conversations like this. And so we find ourselves in a really good place right now. And those folks who have been with MCPS for a long time know exactly what I'm talking about. There was not a conversation about how much more money we can put into the budget. It was like, why aren't you performing and doing this? And therefore, the only way that you're going to be able to get additional money is if you do these types of things. We've reached a much more supportive relationship in terms of trust and understanding, that if we invest, that you're going to do the right things with those dollars. And I think that that's a really good place for us. And so it provides a great opportunity for our system to continue to innovate, to continue to do things outside of the box, because we are not looking to have an aha gotcha moment. We are looking to see folks say, wow, look at Montgomery County Public Schools. And as the shining example, I will just close with one thing before. It's very interesting. As I was flying back from visiting my daughter out at Colorado State on Monday, I actually took my headphones off to listen to the flight attendant, and it was reminded. I know it's something that you should do, but you know, and I heard them, and it reminded me when the flight attendant said, "And for parents, make sure that if the mask drops down, you put it on yourself before putting it on your child." And there's a theme that goes with that in terms of our teachers and all of our providers in our community. And it's something that actually was a core tenet of when I was in my professional career outside of politics, that I worked for Marriott Corporation, where Mr. Marriott said, take care of the employees will take care of the guests, and the guests will continue to return because they've received great service. And it is something to think about in terms of where our commitment is, because those two themes lie together in terms of you can't serve people if you're not being served. And it's not an assumption that everybody needs service. They may not need it, and that's fine. But if they do, that needs to be there for them to ensure that then they can then take care of the people that they are serving. And so it really is something that ties in directly to what my colleagues have said in terms of ensuring that our folks that are on the front lines, and as I remember donning a hat that had MCPS serving on the front lines during COVID, during the pandemic, it really is something that is so true. Every single one, from our administrators to our bus drivers and cafeteria workers and our paras and everything in between, they are always serving on the front lines. And so we've got to make sure that we're taking care of them just like we take care of our kids. Back to you, Mr. Monteleone.
Thank you. And I realize time may be short here, but I appreciate the conversation. Thank you. So I will go through these, and certainly if there are questions, there are questions. Clearly, we have our new 19 Bridge Wellness programs. We have our 6 traditional wellness centers, right, that have been around. And I was, again, privileged to work in a school at Northwood which had the original wellness center. We continue to expand our community school services. And are really proud of the work that's going on there. We have 18 community schools right now, and we anticipate expansion beyond 30 or close thereof, or shortly, or perhaps a little bit more than 30. So we believe in this model. Again, I think the theme here, partnership, we talked about whole child, whole school, whole community, right? So we are partnering with private agencies, and we are partnering certainly with those on the in HHS. And this is just a great model. And to visit the schools and to see all of those resources coalesced in one place for our students is great. And we are looking at the impact, right, the academic impact on students in the community schools as well. Linkages of Learning, another partnership. I think we are well versed in linkages, a very, very successful model. And so we integrate, right, our health, our social services, our community engagement. So this is a part of our overall infrastructure. We have spent some time digging into Bridge to Wellness. We could go a little bit deeper, but I spoke about Bridge to Wellness as part of that student well-being team, or as an appendage of our student well-being team. But I can just share some information here. We did have some trouble in the beginning getting folks hired, right? But I want to say that as of November 10th, 91% of all staff across the 19 high schools have been hired. And I remember sitting on Zoom in the council meeting last year. I think it was in February. I remember it vividly when Councilmember Navarro spoke passionately about the need to expand those services. And lo and behold, I just think tip my hat to the county, tip my hat to our friends in facilities. We got this done. We went from an idea at a county council meeting in February to funding it, to staffing it, to renovating and reconfiguring our schools, and they are happening right now, and 91% staff. So it's a success, but it's a first step of success, and we'll continue to enhance those services. We are also, again, happy for the funding that is allowing us to expand partnering with the outside partners for telehealth services and mental health services. So we put out an RFP, and we are working through Jessa and every mind to expand those services. We are in the process of identifying the schools, mostly elementary and middle, that will receive those services. And we have some members of our team here, but we continue to work to reduce suspensions really through our Alternative One program and coaching folks in schools about really, I would say, discretionary suspensions, right? There are some things that meet the threshold for perhaps an in-school or out-of-school suspension, but it's those students who are being suspended for the insubordination or the disrespect, right, which is very subjective and oftentimes tied to cultural humility. Next slide. School-based health and wellness centers. So in all of our schools, clearly we've had a long-standing partnership with the Department of Health and Human Services and providing these range of services. And we are proud of Kennedy being one of the newest spots and just continue to invest in that. And clearly we know there's a phase-in process, hopefully beyond the bridge to wellness, and then having full wellness centers in each of our high schools as we move forward. We look forward to continued partnership there. Is that the last one? Oh, okay. Okay, also, yeah, we spoke to this one, right? Yeah, next slide. Okay. All right. And then our community, 26 in the community schools. So here we are, the district 26 community schools. I misspoke earlier, 18, and we do think we would go well above 30 next year. And again, these are just the schools where the community school programs are located. Next slide. And these are the folks that are in our community schools, full-time community school liaison. Is this yours?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Quick question.
Councilmember Juwando?
On the 91% on the wellness centers.
Yep.
Who is not funded, or where's the gap?
I'm sorry?
You said there were 91% of the.
Yes. So we have, I'm looking, I can dig down into that. So 95% of our mental health and specialist and therapist positions have been filled. 95% of the youth development specialists. 84% of the care manager position.
And what I've heard something specifically about the Poolsville Wellness Center that they're not staffed. What's the situation there?
Poolsville, and we were having some issues as well with Whitman, I believe, as well. And so I can speak generally. We may have a staff, a support staff who can speak to the individual cases, but generally my knowledge is this, is that we are relying on our partners, right, the subcontractors, to hire and bring in people into those spaces. We are not directly responsible for that hiring process. So through the money that has been provided, we have our outside providers and our outside contractors, and they hire and bring folks into that space. We continue to try to problem
Well, if you could follow up, I mean, because sometimes, particularly when you have a school where there's obviously low income and there's at-risk kids at every school, and then when you have sometimes the resources can be even sparser there. Ironically, it can be, So I just want to make sure that in that community, in particular, in all communities, that we're focused on it. So if you just let me know, someone let us know as that progresses. Thank you.
Absolutely, we'll get back to you on that, and I will pass it to Ms. Backey.
I'll move quickly through in the interest of time. Our community schools, there are 26 community schools. They're also funded through concentration of poverty grants, which is a part of the blueprint. Each community school has a full-time community school liaison. Each one also has a full-time registered nurse from Department of Health and Human Services, and those nursing and health services are provided if there are evening, weekends, or other extended programs at those schools per the blueprint. Each of these schools completes a needs assessment, and that helps to guide the plans and the implementation to get feedback from the community and the staff about what services are needed. The liaison builds a positive relationship with the staff, the students, and the families in order to help provide support services. And there's a wide range of extensive partnerships that are concentrated at community schools. Capital Area Food Bank, MANA, Community Farm Share Grants, Diaper Bank, youth sports organizations are all really a robust set of services at these community schools, and they have on-site behavioral health support as well. Just some addition of the Title I summer programs, extended learning opportunities, continues also to support students during the summertime, a 5-week summer program in Title I elementary schools, family engagement activities, science project-based learning, and a preview of content literacy and math. So these are additional services that are provided in the full range of services to help our students to be successful. And we talked briefly earlier about the innovative school calendar at Arcola and Roscoe Nix. It's in the 4th year of implementation. It's 28 additional days of learning added to the calendar, and additional programs such as mindfulness and Project Lead the Way.
On that, are we evaluating also, like, to the point of time earlier, how that's impacting positively, negatively, not at all, the staff, their well-being? Is that part of the evaluation of the program? And do we know anything about that yet?
Yeah.
I see heads, but, you know.
Do you want to come?
You can come,
I'll invite Ms. Michelle Owens to come up.
Because we were just talking with Dr.
Director
Murphy.
of Title I Early Childhood and Recovery
Okay.
Funds, who will talk a little bit about
Awesome.
the
You know, we're talking
a little
about
bit about
innovative
the
solutions,
innovative
breaking
school
up the calendar. So one of the things that would,
Thank you, Ms. Owens.
yeah, suggest that we should is if you're seeing improved, you know, freedom and mental health, you know, for the staff. So yes.
Good afternoon. Yes, we have included.
If you could just introduce yourself for the
I'm
record.
sorry.
No, that's all right.
Michelle Owens, Director, Title I Early Childhood
It's a good name,
and Recovery Funds. Thank you. So yes, our Office of Shared Accountability has conducted an evaluation. The evaluation does include data about how the staff are doing. In addition, the principals are ensuring that there is well-being in place for staff. I mean, we did that in particular at the beginning of the program, the first several years. And since then, MCPS has engaged in well-being and wellness for staff. So the activities that are consistent with MCPS are also a part of what Roscoe Nix and Arcola are doing.
Do we have, when's that data due, or do we have the initial findings of how staff are being impacted? What's the timeline of the evaluation?
The
Or is it already completed?
evaluation, I believe it's still in process of being reviewed. It doesn't look, it looks at a range of data
Sure.
for the program, including staff feedback as well as parent feedback.
Okay, so I guess we'll have to follow up and have a session about after you brief the board, and you know, but that's something I'd like to earmark to come back to, because I think it's really important to the conversation we were just having. If this is one of the strategies that frees up our educators to have more time, it's something we should probably be looking into. So thank you.
Look, and I will say this, that, and you know, we had representatives from every single sector on the Kerwin Commission. And so part of this discussion around the potential of having an innovative school calendar and expanding was that there were some teachers who did like the flexibility of having the 2 months off, and it gave them the ability to do the wind down. So it cuts both ways. But it is one that if we are moving in that direction, and I think what we heard was that the conversation was there early with teachers to say, this is a model we're moving towards, and making sure that this works for you, because those are the kinds of things. And if not, maybe we need to transfer you to another school so that you don't have to be burdened with that if it doesn't work. That flexibility is incredibly important as well. But it is something that I think, you know, as Mr. Monteleone, you talked about other countries, that's what we looked at when we modeled the Kerwin Commission recommendations that then became the blueprint recommendations. We modeled ourselves after what other jurisdictions that were high performing were doing. And their calendar year is not like ours. It is very different. And so from that standpoint, that is one of the things that I think will be, and that's the reason why I asked about our migration into that model, because I do think that that's something that we will look towards. You know, it's there for our institutes of higher education, and would it not be conducive for us to have something similar to what many of our children will matriculate onto, so that there is that seamless and there's no need of adjustment of understanding. And so it's just one of those things that's very interesting, I think, in terms of holistically how it is that we look at what it is that we'll need to take ourselves to the next level. The numbers just came out for PISA not that long ago, and we've seen what those numbers are for us in the United States versus other countries, and we've actually slipped in terms of our rankings. And so from that standpoint, we're headed in the wrong direction. Now, I understand that we had COVID, but quite honestly, COVID affected the entire world, not just here in the United States. So while we may be differently impacted in some arenas, the reality is that at the end of the day, this is really one of the only things that we have to look at that gives us the ability to benchmark ourselves against other countries when it comes to academic performance. And so, while I understand the whole notion around standardized tests and all of that, trust me, been there, had those debates at the state level as well as in the Kerman Commission. But I will say this, that if you're consistent and doing the same test and then you see yourself going in a different direction, that is something to where we have to start to say, what else can we do? And I think that that's what this encapsulates in terms of really turning the tide. I know that we're at the end of the presentation, and so I just want to say thank you again, as I said at the beginning. Mr. Montaloni, did you have some? Yeah, please.
I did, please, and
No.
thank you. To Councilmember Joando's question, thank you, Ms. Carla Lopez Arias, who has provided me with that information. So Poolesville High School is completely staffed other than one position, their care manager. Same thing with Walt Whitman High School.
And I'm sorry, the space. Is there space up and running too?
It's the space.
That
up
was
and running.
that was the other part of it, but staffing and the space. But you can follow up on
Space it continues to be an issue, I believe. So I will follow up with that for you.
that. Okay,
With the
thank you.
space.
But thank
Okay.
you. That's half the answer.
So yeah, so I don't know if my colleagues have any closing remarks, but I again want to start off how or end how I began, which is that, look, we've made some great progress as a system. We have, I mean, the whole concept, and this isn't to criticize Dr. Weiss, because Dr. Weiss, was his own superintendent, but I couldn't imagine us having a conversation around BeWealth 365 and some of the things under the leadership of Dr. Weiss, who was focused very much on academia and was not necessarily focused on the social and emotional well-being of children. But quite honestly, our society wasn't as well, right? So, to be fair, and so that's why, again, I think that we have evolved into and continue to evolve into a system that continues to try and meet the needs of our students and address them so that they can focus on the one thing that they need to, which is mastery of education, so that they continue on in whatever pathway is there, whether it's career or collegiate and then career. And so it certainly is one, to me, that warrants us continuing to keep our foot on the pedal. We have made some tremendous strides, and it is not the time to lift up. I will just share with you that there's great conversation at the federal level with the Biden-Harris administration when it comes to continuing to support education, understanding that the infusion of cash that did go into education to help to get us through the pandemic was actually some of the same things that we need to have in continuation to support our schools. We have seen in some arenas to where gaps have narrowed during COVID. I just want to let that settle, because we've struggled for so long, and we know this, all of us who've been working in this space, to talk about how stagnant the gap is and how we were going to continue to reach kids and make a difference. And through some of the programs that we've put in place, whether it's the equity hubs, whether it's the tutors that are in place, the social and emotional supports, the food supports for families, all of those wraparound services have been meant that there are better outcomes for our kids. And so now is not the time to let up. And so there's great pressure from a national level on the administration to say, these are the kinds of things that need to continue. I'll just put a plug in for one of the things, and Dr. Murphy, this is for you, and I'm just going to leave it with you. You don't have to respond. But it is one where we at the National Association of Counties are advocating with USDA to continue to do waivers when it comes to free meals for all of our students. But there are jurisdictions throughout the United States that are stepping up and saying, if the federal government is not going to do it, we are still going to do it. And we understand that there's a cost associated with it, but we've seen great outcomes when it comes to our kids not having to identify as being on free and reduced meals and just getting a meal because we know that it's healthy and it's beneficial to their learning and their overall well-being while in our schools. And so from that standpoint, just a plug as we're looking at budget, but trust me, on the other end, we're also working with our federal partners to make sure that they're doing what they need to as well. Ms. Backey, let me turn to you to close us out.
I just wanted to remind our viewing public that they can go on either the MCPS website where the blueprint is or the AIB website and have access to those documents on the comprehensive plan, the criteria for success. And the AIB is still collecting some feedback through November 23rd, so they're certainly welcome to do that and also provide us with some feedback. I just wanted to thank the council for all the support on the blueprint, and in particular, Councilmember Rice, I would like to thank you for all your work on the Kerwin Commission, all your support, unwavering for our students in MCPS. And I remember coming into this role last year, and one of the first meetings that I had was you reaching out saying, what can I do to help support the blueprint, and let's talk a little bit about the resources and other things. So I thank you so very much. Thank you.
Well, thank you guys. I really appreciate that. I promised myself I wouldn't cry. So let me just say this again as I close out this meeting. It is very clear that we are in great hands. That there will continue to be success. I was talking with Ms. Rodriguez Hernandez about my concern as you step away from something that you were a part of for a very long time. You're always concerned that the success will still be there and that the progress will still be the same. I know that my colleagues who are on this dais and the colleagues who are going to replace me and others on this council remain committed because it is the core. It is truly something where I believe education is the most important function of government. And I was born and raised in an education system with my mother who knew all too well about the importance of education. And so from that standpoint, I am really happy to leave and step away in a good place and know that there are so many great things to come. So I thank each and every one of you. God bless you guys, and we are adjourned.